Wake that ass up.
In the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got our Nyla hanging with us this morning.
Yes.
And we have a special guest who Charlamagne claims is a family member.
I don't know why you keep saying
this. And
this.
we say this all the time because when we announced that your album came out, he didn't even know your album came out, and I forced him
That
to
is
make
not
him
true.
buy it.
Wow.
Cuz?
That is not true.
Chloe Bailey,
He's a
ladies and
liar.
gentlemen.
And we played the song. I played the Missy record and
did.
the Chris Brown record
Why
that
are you trying to
morning.
get my
We
family
did.
in trouble?
We
That's
did,
right.
but I had to make him download the record because he didn't even know.
That's not
Well,
true. I
you
don't
know now.
That's right.
You said you bought it. You bought it, right?
We don't
I don't throw
download
family
music.
under
But you
the
said
bus.
you bought it.
See, loyal.
Listen, In Pieces is out right now. Okay, did you buy it? All right, did all y'all people
I streamed it.
online
I streamed it.
complaining, making noise, buy it?
I streamed it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How you
Well,
feeling this
welcome.
morning?
I feel great. I'm so happy. Like the past 2 days, I've been feeling like great, to be honest. The week and a half, like before, it was like a little rocky, but tour kind of been getting me out the funk because the shows have been amazing. They've all been sold out and everyone's singing every lyric to every song. So I'm like, the love is real in real life. So I've been feeling good.
Why
to
were
be
you in the
honest.
funk? I know you wasn't letting these digital dickheads on the internet get
Well,
to you.
I mean, like we're all human,
Yeah.
so of course some things are gonna bother you. And I think when you put so much time and effort into the art of everything, and it's really a conceptual album. I executive produced it. I produced on 12 out of the 14 songs on there. I had a lot of incredible, like amazing talent on the project. So I was just like, it's okay. Come at me, bro. So I'm ready for what's next, to be honest.
What's the title mean? In Pieces.
Yes. So In Pieces, it's kind of like a double entendre. So In Pieces represents the pieces of my heart that has been left broken from life situations, relationships, things like that, people stabbing you in the back. And then it also means what's left in pieces is the box that people try to put me in on who they think Chloe is. And, you know, I just have to speak for myself and break through it. So that's what it means. It's like the simp side and then the place of power side.
Has to be
Simp
difficult
side.
because people seen you grow up, so it's like
Yeah.
they seen you as this young girl. So now when you breaking out into your own, it has to be difficult for your fans, I guess, right?
I mean, maybe not. I'm really proud of my sister and I because we've been branching out on our own successfully and people are getting to like know who we are individually. And I'm so blessed that I grew up with her in life so we could go through everything together. And it came to a point where we were so dependent on one another, like we were Siamese twins. So what forced us apart was her going to London to shoot Little Mermaid and, you know, me being in LA, and especially with the pandemic, the travel restrictions, going to another country was crazy. So as stressful as it was for the both of us, we both had separation anxiety. It like forced us to figure out, okay, who's Chloe? Who's Hallie? So now when we come back together, it's going to be even stronger because now we also have a great sense of self.
Do
I
y'all
like that
recognize?
you-
Oh, go ahead.
I like that you said that the love is real in real life.
Yeah.
And I know, like, online, you put, like, a lot of the ugly comments that people say about you online in one of
Yeah.
your performance piece. Is that for every show, or is that
That's
just...
for every show. The idea popped in my head like 30 minutes before the first opening show in Chicago. And I was just like, it's over the interlude of I'm Not Worried. It's like an a cappella arrangement of me singing it. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to put that there because I'm not really worried about what people have to say. You know, it's just another notch on my belt. So
Did y'all recognize the growth in each other, you and Holly? Like when y'all finally did get back together, did she see growth in you? Did you see growth in her?
yes, the crazy thing is, growing up, it was me who was afraid to speak up. So like she would be the one speaking up for me, and like she's
Really?
the Aries,
Your
like
younger sister?
Yes, she's the
Wow.
like, don't mess with her. And it would always be me like, oh my gosh, hi, like I don't like confrontation, things like that. And so because of that, I had to force myself to speak up for myself because I didn't have my sister right there doing it for me. So now I'm very independent and very vocal, and I say what I mean and I mean what I say. And she's recognized that. She's like, whoa, you're like a completely different person. And I'm so proud of her because she's confident in who she is as an individual as well. Like we both were missing that, and now we both found it. So it's like we're stronger.
Did
That can
change
be
'cause-
dangerous though, because you a Cancer.
You
know
know.
what I'm saying? So you be in your shell, but boy, when you come out that shell. Yeah.
And I was going to ask,
Yep,
did that
don't mess with me.
change?
Yeah.
Did that change because you missed your sister, or was it a relationship that made you change, or was it writing your music that made you change? What was that change?
That's a great question. I think it was a combination of everything. I think it got to a point where I realized if I don't fight for myself, then I'm just going to be left in the dust. And if I don't speak up for what I want and speak up for who I am as a human being, then like it's just going to fall on deaf ears, and closed mouths don't get fed. So, throughout the music, I was finding my strength because I was saying things that I was afraid to say or speak up to certain individuals. And then from there, it just grew from that. It was like, it just kept growing and growing, and now it can't really stop. Yeah.
I feel like growing up as women, we're taught to like not be so vocal. So now that you are being vocal, do you feel like you're being a bitch, or like do you feel like you have to turn on a new version of yourself?
Absolutely not. It's not about what you say, but how you say it. You can command a room without having to bark so loud. And as long as you believe in what you're saying and you don't change in that for anybody, people will respect you. Because at a certain point, they know they can't ignore it,
Yeah.
Was Pray Away based on a true story?
Oh, Prayed Away.
Fuck nigga. I just
Yes.
learned to hate from a fuck nigga.
Yes. So I wrote that song with my girl Jazzy, and I kept seeing her like 3-4 times that week at every event. And I'm all about signs. Like I don't feel there are any coincidences in life. And I was like, so the final place I saw
Say
her.
that now. There's gonna be a dude that's gonna follow you and everything. Like, this is a sign.
A sign that you're crazy. But I was like, okay. So we passed each other going to the ladies' room at the studio. And I was like, I got back in my session. I said, wait. So I texted her. I was like, can you come in here? And she played me a few demos. And it was the skeleton of Prayed Away. It was originally called Church. And I was like, I'm in love with this because I loved how open it was. It was completely raw and honest. And for me, I've always learned to just be the bigger person and turn the other cheek. And it's like sometimes you do want to get down and dirty and get on that person's same level, but I will never give anyone that power over me. So it's like, I'm going to pray it away. So it was quite easy to finish out the song because there has been people who have tried me and I love it. I really do.
Well, when the last time you really wanted a person hurt? Because that's what the song is about. You wanting a person hurt, but then having to pray it away.
I think I've been growing. I think the last time I felt like I wanted somebody to hurt, maybe 5 days ago.
She grew in 5 days. She grew in 5 days. She said, I've been growing. How long? 5 days. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
What was the situation?
What was the situation? There's several.
Jesus.
Yeah, but I prayed away.
When
took
you
you-
say
who took-
hurt, though, you don't really mean hurt. You just mean like you want them to feel how you feel.
Yes.
Okay.
But the thing is, we never have to do the work. Like karma speaks for itself.
That is true.
So never give someone power to get you out of your character.
So
That's
you've
what I've
never been
learned.
like, or you don't believe in like spite. Like I got to get my get back.
No,
You'll just let the
I
world-
don't.
Yeah.
Because I don't want it to come back to me in turn. So I just let them dig themselves in a ditch,
Wait a minute. Because there's a record on the album that pisses me off, and it's the
Called?
total opposite. Cheat Back.
Woohoo!
Okay, that record pissed me off.
He's
What
been
the
talking
cheat-
about this record for the,
Okay,
for
so
the last couple of days.
So why does
Accomplice
it?
Cousin.
Why you gonna cheat back on me,
cousin? Why
so?
does it piss you off?
Because that's cruel and
Because he
unusual
believes in
punishment.
double standards.
You don't get a nigga back like that.
Okay, so let me ask you this.
He's quoting Jay-Z now.
Let me
Okay.
just.
Ghostface.
Okay, I'm
Oh,
just
that is
gonna.
Jay-Z.
That was Jay-Z.
Yeah, and
I'm gonna swap the roles. So say not. This is hypothetically speaking, an alternate universe.
Yes.
You're with someone. She continues to cheat time and time again because you love her so much, and she keeps saying she's gonna change. You stay, but at a certain point, aren't you gonna want to get something back so you don't feel like a pussy? Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
But I'll just break up with her though.
Will you?
Yeah, no.
We're cancers. Okay. You see my point?
But have you ever been in that situation where you had to get your, you say it's not revenge, but revenge that way? Because that's revenge.
So I have been cheated on a few times, and it's like, in my head, I feel like I got them back after the fact, after the relationship, and I'm like, ha, you'll never know. It's just for like a little internal.
Damn.
How did you catch them
that's so
cheating? How did you catch
cold.
the person cheating?
Ooh.
Well, you said a couple of times. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. The 2 times I've been cheated on, social media
Of course.
Social media.
What do you mean
and
social media?
evidence.
Oh, you
You
called
went
him?
through his phone?
No, I've never gone through anyone's phone.
Well, how'd you? Okay, what on social media? Like it was posted such
They
and such
tagged
with
him.
such and such.
It was like, yeah, it was multiple things on social media.
Yeesh.
And then evidence like panties and hair ties. and
Jesus
things like
Christ.
that.
Oh, let me ask you a
That's
question.
just disrespect.
When you asked him, did he reply, yes, ma'am?
No,
Oh,
they try to deflect.
damn.
That's my sisters or something.
Damn.
Did they lie and be like, "That's my sisters and my cousins"?
Yeah. You know how it goes?
That's so bad.
They really said that was his
That's
sisters
so-
or cousins?
Huh?
They really said that was his sisters or cousins?
It's a
They
little
try to
something
blame it
of
on, like,
yes.
a woman that was
yes.
around, but not another woman.
Did you break up immediately or did you feel
Yes.
like, okay.
I did.
Good for you.
And I block because we're cancers.
Yeah.
So I don't want to see my phone blowing up. I don't want to see loving long text messages because I don't want to be a simp and crawl back.
That's right.
Do
And we
you
love
double
so
back?
hard that when you do us dirty, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
Do you double back at all?
I did one time
I did.
and I was like, nope, it ended for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
good.
answer this question. What does cheating back actually accomplish, ladies? Seriously, when y'all really think about it, what does cheating back
this
accomplish?
really hurt you, didn't it?
I could flip it right back. What does cheating in the first place accomplish?
Jesus Christ, Chloe.
Does it just build up your esteem and ego?
Damn.
No,
is
you're right,
it
you're right.
just because it feels good in that moment?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all ego.
Like I feel like
I
for
agree.
women, sex is about love and like the connection. And for men, I do feel like it's not as like connection based as it is for us. But at the same time, when you say you love and respect someone, you can't disrespect them publicly
Yep.
by like, you know.
You right.
And
That's real.
even spite, like get back sex, like is out of spite. The women don't really want to do it. We're really just doing it because we're so angry. Because the after feeling of the guy you did is like, yuck.
What is y'all talking about sex?
I'm just saying,
Stop
like,
this conversation.
spite.
Uncle over there getting upset
I'm telling
now.
Joe and Doug, this is getting out of hand in here.
Just
What's
saying.
going on?
Uncle over there getting
all
upset.
right, back to the music.
But I do want to know, before we get back to music, was that what changed you and made you more outspoken? Because you talked about outspoken, because in those situations, you
No.
can't be quiet. You have
Yeah.
to be outspoken and say your thoughts.
That wasn't what changed me. It was other things that didn't have to deal with a man. And I'm happy to say that I'm not phased, or the way that I love or go into relationships and stuff isn't phased because of how someone else has done me wrong in the past, because that's a them problem, not a me problem. And I think a lot of times us as women, when something like that happens to us, the first thing we think is, what was it that I did? Was I wrong? Is there something I could have done better? Things like that. But no, that was like in the middle to the end kind of stage of it. I had COVID actually, and Tehran, who I wrote Have Mercy with and Told You with Missy Elliott, he sent it to me. It was just the guitar and his vocal. It was the first two verses and the hook. And I was just getting out of a relationship. And I was like depressed and miserable. I had COVID in my apartment and I was getting cheated on. I was like, you know what? So I set up my stuff in my home studio and I recorded it, and it just was so freeing. It was really great.
But what if he used COVID as an excuse? He was like, I wanted to be with you, but you had COVID, so I ended up.
Yo, shut
Oh,
up.
Shut
man.
up.
no, but it was like this. You know, like when it's never like one thing. So it was like I found out, then like the week later I had COVID. So it was like, you know, the second, third week when you're like not talking and getting over it. It's like, ugh. But that's why I'm happy I have music to kind of really put my soul into. And I'm so damn happy Future hopped on the record. Like,
You went and got the most toxic person you could find to
but
hop on this toxic
yeah,
person.
but even like his melodies, and he's just really brilliant, you know, in terms of music. And I was happy that he got to speak up for the fellas in it.
It's got a country feel to it almost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it kind of reminds me of like How to Love with Lil Wayne, and it reminds me of 4 or 5 Seconds with Paul McCartney and Kanye. That's
great
why
record.
I loved it. Thank you.
Now-
I wanted
now-
to keep it strict.
One
more thing about that record,
I want to
though.
go too. So does that mean the men that you date understand that you're gonna put their stuff in a song, no matter what?
Oh,
the
yeah,
feeling is,
it's
if
a given.
Good, oh damn.
The thing about the thing about me though is I'll never say names. I don't kiss and tell. I don't want them to put my business in the streets. And I kind of say to myself, I've been single for almost a year now, and I'm like, I'm open to whatever God has for me, but I'm not like hunting down for it. I'm like, whatever happens, happens.
How can you trust guys not to put your business out there though? Because you are Chloe Bailey, like you the talk of the town.
You
talk
make
of
them
the
sign
internet.
NDAs.
No,
You should.
yeah. I think it's all about having discernment. Like when you share your energy with a specific individual, like I try to pick knowing they have a good heart and they're not dumb. So
That ain't what you said on Cheatback. On Cheatback, you said you're gonna find you a thug. That's basically what you described. You said you're gonna find you a hood dude with tats and all types of stuff to cheat back.
Jesus
Is that
Christ.
what you're into?
okay, so the thing is, I don't really know what I'm into. I don't discriminate.
Okay.
You know, I've like the really sweet nerds, not about the look, like the thug. I'm from Atlanta. So it's just like whoever can stimulate my mind. Like, what can you teach me? Like, put me on game, teach me new words. Because I'm quite intelligent. I like, this is where I get like, oh. So it really doesn't matter how you look. I mean, it does. because I don't want to wake up and be scared. However, it's about the spirit first.
This is my last question about that record. Because I think Future said, he said you can find yourself fucking on someone else. Do y'all really believe that?
Oh, so when I got the verse in, I felt that in my spirit because he was like, okay, so you finally know who you are as an individual because you had sex with another man. And how like passive aggressive and so like, oh, is that statement? That line's my favorite. The I should have put cameras in the crib line is my favorite.
I don't want to talk about this.
Wait, break that bar down again. Break that bar down again.
I can't remember what the exact bar is, but he said you can find yourself fucking on someone else.
Yeah, he said, he goes, Shawty finally found herself fucking on someone else. Ooh.
But he don't mean like found herself.
Yes.
Right? Or he does?
Yes.
Oh, he does?
Yes.
I don't like that.
But like, the reason, because I'm a pretty fair person, it's all about perspective. The reason why I love that line so much is because our power doesn't come from opening ourselves up to another individual. Our power comes from internal and self-love. So as petty as I am being on the song, and it's like, yeah, I want to hurt you just as much as you hurt me. Even when I do that, will it make me feel better at the end of the day? And that's why I really love that line. Because the only thing you accomplished was getting back at him, but you still haven't found yourself. You're still insecure and crying, questioning why am I not good enough? So
I like that.
That's why I love that line, because it was like, I got to read the fellas and he got to read the ladies.
Who do you talk to when you're going through all this stuff?
Woo!
When these fuck niggas. Who you
My
speak to?
godmom, I call her, I rant. Me, her, and Hallie have a whole group chat. Man.
Godmama never wanted to pull up on some of these dudes?
Oh, she has wanted to. She's from the Caribbean, so she's gangsta.
I love that.
Yep.
One of your favorite records is Body Do, right now?
Yeah, my favorite one is Body Do. I feel like that should have been the single.
Ooh.
Like that one, that's a good, especially
Yeah.
now that the weather's getting warm and stuff like that. But why did you start the record like that? why do you ever wonder who else is fucking your man?
Yes. Okay, so I wrote Body Do after I found the panties.
Jesus.
Yes. And it's like, you know when someone's not good for you, but there's something within you that just misses them. You miss their touch. You miss like the connection that you have. So I wrote that song in 5 minutes because I was quite angry, but I love the juxtaposition of how fun it sounds, like you're just shaking ass, but it's quite toxic and sad. And it's like, I can't trust you as far as I can throw you. I can't trust what you tell me, but I can trust what that body do because you're right in front of me.
So does that mean body language or?
Yes, like what goes on behind closed doors.
That girl wanted you to
between
find
the
those
lines.
panties too, by the way.
I think
that
so.
girl wanted you to find those
I think
panties.
so.
She knew who you was. She was like,
But
I'm
they were nice. I never
panties?
No.
hers. I never fault the other woman because
How
I'm
do they
not in a
smell,
relationship with her. I didn't
That's
do
what I
that.
gotta check.
What?
I didn't touch or smell them. They're not.
Were they Walmart?
That's how you
Target?
really kill them.
I don't know. I didn't.
You
I
said they were
didn't.
nice.
I wasn't
But
paying
anyway.
attention.
I like
that
that
much.
you said that. I've heard a few men say like, why do they never be mad at the woman for knowing I have a girl and they're doing X, Y, and Z?
Because like
And I don't agree with that sentiment. But
Yeah.
I've heard men say that.
I don't like how society has taught us as women to compete with each other. Like if you flip it again, if two dudes find out about each other, they're not calling each other, going back and forth. Oh, so let's compare stories.
You right.
They're just moving on because they're not in
and
a
bashing
relationship.
you.
Yeah, the immature ones.
Yeah.
I
But
don't think no dude's gonna leave a sock and be like, I want this other dude to find my sock or whatever.
some men are petty.
Men will do a pull up though. They'll definitely pull up, try to make it awkward or something like that.
Oh, that's never happened to me. Has that happened to you?
That hasn't happened to me, but I watched it happen to my friend.
Damn.
I would be sitting there with some popcorn.
Why did you say the panties were nice though? Like why?
They were cute.
That's what I said. I said,
They were cute.
but she left that there. She wanted
That
Chloe
would
to
scare
find
the
out.
hell out you. If your woman be like, I found a cute pair of panties.
And I know they're not mine.
Whoa.
So I walked out the door.
Damn.
Yeah.
Was he quick on his feet at least?
No.
What can you say? There's no answer to that.
They're mine.
The thing about women, no.
That's
the
a
thing-
good one. That's a good one. Now, what happened if he said they're mine? They are mine.
That's a deep conversation.
I'd be
at
like,
that
you know,
point.
baby, do we need to discuss some things?
Right.
You know?
They are mine.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you asked. That conversation might be easier than the other one. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Now, what was it like recording I Want You to Feel Me Cry and Make It Look Easy? Because both those records felt very personal.
Oh, yes. Okay. So this album is quite toxic, to be honest. Feel Me Cry, as emotional and sad as it sounds, it's actually a quite sexually liberated song. You know, it's double meanings to Feel Me Cry. And then with Make It Look Easy, that one was the most personal song in the record. I went into the studio trying to just like forget what was going on in my life, and I thought I was just gonna make like some fun shit, and I heard these simple chords and I just started writing. Usually I'll go in the booth and freestyle a bunch of melodies and then like Frankenstein it together, but I was just coming up with the melodies and writing it at the same time, and I was crying while I was writing it and cutting in the booth, and even after listening to the demo to hear if I wanted to fix anything, I couldn't listen to it for a while because for the people who know me personally, like it's a way deeper meaning, like with hidden messages and what certain things mean within the lyrics. So I'm really proud of myself for being so open and honest, and I was like, I can't create a conceptual album about heartbreak and being left in pieces without being completely honest. Like, yeah, I can talk about relationships and friends stabbing me in the back, but it's like, why not talk or cover the other things? Because mental health is real, anxiety is real,
Absolutely.
feeling like you're not good enough is real, feeling like you don't want to be here anymore is real. And I've been through all that. So I was like, if I'm saying I'm going to be honest, and I should put it within the music. And I didn't really care if it sounded like a single or anything. I just wanted to speak my truth. So that was the last song I wrote that I put on the album.
That's one of my favorite records on the album because I feel like, you know,
Thank you.
Back in the day when we was coming up, you would see child stars and then you would all of a sudden see child stars just lose it and go crazy, but nobody ever documents that. I feel like you was documenting that process in that record.
Yeah, that's one thing I'll say about myself. I'm a lot stronger than I ever thought I was, and I'm really proud because of the shit that I've been through. I have not let that change me or my character as a human being. And, you know, hurt people, and the cycle continues, and that's stopping, like, with me, you know?
Have you gone to therapy?
Oh, yeah. I have a therapist.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's really important, to be honest. Like, we go to the gym to exercise, we brush up on, our, you know, our lash extensions and our hair, and going to the barber. We should also do that internally.
I had a session last night with my therapist.
And it helps so much.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Are you off the internet as much now? Because I know I know you're on it. You watch it.
So here's the thing. Because
I'm sure your therapist says that's the major thing. You got to stay off of social.
She does, as well as my godmom. She's be trying to. She sees me going on it. For me, before it was easier to just like delete the apps off my phone. But now I'm on tour. I'm trying to promote my album. Like, I can't just get off of it like I want to. It's a part of my business. So I have to like monitor myself because you can get down the rabbit hole and things like that. And I'm not going to sit up here and lie and be like, oh, yeah, like nothing bothers me. I'm great, because that's a lie. But at the end of the day, it's like you have to fall so you can get back up and be stronger. And you dust your shoulders off and you get back up.
That's right.
So for me, I know the work that I put into everything. I know the good energy and the good person that I am, and that will just come back to me. So
sometimes you got to say fuck it though. Like I know
Oh, yeah.
Charlamagne, he doesn't have Twitter app on his phone.
I ain't been on Twitter in 5 years.
yeah,
I only read the first 10 comments. Those are the people that follow me. Everything else, you're on your own. I
or the
don't.
spam.
you don't. But my wife does, and she reads every comment. And sometimes, you know, she said it doesn't affect her, but it have to. All that, the negative energy has to affect you in some type of way.
Absolutely. And what people were accusing me of, like being somebody that I'm not, I saw myself turning into that just based off of what people would say. So every day I'm living my life unapologetically, like I'm very out there and bubbly. I've been that way since I was a little girl. That has never, ever changed. And when I would see people say, oh, she does too much or she over-sexualizes herself, I'm going to be 25 in like a couple months. I'm a grown woman. But I think because people grew up with my sister and I when we were younger, they can't get past that. But I'm like, you know what? I'm grateful that I'm breathing, and whatever I'm stressing out about is not that big of a deal.
So you said you became that. So what, you started being more overly sexual on purpose, or?
Oh, no.
Okay.
I was changing myself. I was trying to cover up. I was trying to be on stage like, because people are like, just have the mic and sing. I was like, okay. But I express with my body. You know, I grew up in dance when I was younger. Like, it's a form of expression. I don't want to be predictable. I don't want to be mediocre. I want to be extraordinary and be like something you've never seen before. And it's shocking.
Isn't it strange? Because I remember the first video that went viral. It was the Bust It Challenge, I think.
Yeah.
And everybody loved you, and then after a while, it's like, okay, now she's doing too much.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing. Like, even before Sis and I got our own Instagram pages, like, that's what I don't like, when people try to pit family against each other or compare sisters. Like, we're two complete individuals. We will not be the same. And if you go back and watch performances within the group, I was still the same passionate, moving.
No, there's some funny videos.
Yeah.
Of you too. And
Yeah.
yeah. Hyping you up, yeah.
And before, people would like praise that, and it seemed like once I found confidence and my power within that, people would then try to weaponize it, because no one ever likes to see a Black woman be confident within herself. Once you claim that, it's a problem.
Speaking of pitting people against each other, the internet felt like Beyonce should have done more in regard to promoting your album. What do you have to say about that?
I love B, and she supported my sis and I since we had our little locks on YouTube. So it's all love over here. I love her.
Do you feel like the label could have supported more and pushed more?
Because that's what nobody's talking about. Everybody want to blame Beyonce. Where was the label at?
Well, I feel like it's all politics, but this is what I'll say. God's plan is always greater than any plan I could come up with, and I'll tell you why. I shot Swarm and Praise This last year. I didn't know when those were coming out. Swarm, you know, whether it's negative or positive, everybody had my name in their mouth maybe a week or and a half or two before my album. Then I was able to use, because Praise This is with Universal, shout out to Will Packer and Tina Gordon, I love them. I got to do this whole full press junket, go on all these morning shows, go on all these talk shows, Jimmy Fallon, Drew Barrymore, all these great things to talk about the movie. And because God is so good, I was able to finesse that and also promote my album. So I am grateful that I have multiple avenues and multiple ways that I can make money and promote myself. And it's hard, but I love it. And because of that, that shows me that what God has for me will be for me. And I think that's what we all have to realize when we're fighting for ourselves and fighting for a dream, that no one can stop what God has for you. So, and now I'm on a sold out tour. Like, as much as everyone was talking stuff, you know.
How did that make you feel? Because I know you're on, you watch your social media, so I'm sure you've seen you trending, and they were saying Beyonce didn't post it, and because Beyonce didn't, you know, everybody's into this, like if it's your birthday, nobody posts your birthday. It's the same thing. They said that Beyonce didn't post it, and people were talking about it. How did that make you feel?
Of course, when people talk anything negative about me, it's going to hurt my feelings. But I was like, at least they're talking, and at least people go listen to the project. And as much as people try to bring up numbers and things like that, I'm trending every other day.
Facts.
Marketing can't buy that. A label can't buy that. So people care enough to constantly have my name in their mouth. So I'm doing something right. And, you know, if it was real what people were saying, my tours wouldn't be sold out.
That's
People wouldn't be singing word for word on the album I just dropped a week and a half ago. So that's what I have to switch my perspective to, instead of allowing others and people who aren't doing anything with themselves or their lives dim my light.
And I told you it's a marathon, not a sprint. Like, you got great records on this album. Like, this, you could be platinum this time next year. Like, you don't know. People don't know.
Yeah, like singles, sometimes the biggest ones take like 8 months to pop off. And that's why I love you, because your love is real behind doors and behind the cameras and stuff. Because when I saw that, I was like, yeah, I don't want to be a flash in the pan. I'm in this for the long haul. Like, you know, it's not my first project. The only thing that did sting is because as technical and musical that I am, I would be like in the studio like nights and nights on top of nights not sleeping, like me and my female engineer, shout out to her, women in STEM. But we would just be there burning the midnight oil. I would pay attention to the BPM transitions and the key changes into the next song. And it's truly a conceptual piece and body of work. So when you put so much time into that as a skilled musician who knows what they're talking about, when people like will just, to be mean, say Empire music or things like that, it's like, well, maybe listen to the album.
Word.
Yeah.
Great album.
Yeah.
And I'm sure also too, Beyonce has done a lot for you that people probably don't see. Everybody puts so much stock in social media. Like, you're here because of Beyonce in a lot of ways.
Like, we would sing all her songs on YouTube and things like that. So it's funny. I've always loved her since I was a little girl.
So you talked about stepping into your sexuality on the album, and obviously we've been seeing it in the music videos and stuff like that. But Swarm, that clip that was trending on Twitter, people were making it sound like I'm getting calls like, did you see? I'm like, no, but I guess I'll go look at it. And then I look and I'm like, it's really not that bad.
It's 2 seconds.
Yeah, it's really not that
Jesus
bad.
Christ.
What the,
For a father, that's like 10 minutes. For that 10 minutes.
Man.
Jesus.
So this is
Man, y'all don't ever think about us.
I know, right? Never think about us. Jesus.
so because God is good, blessings are flowing. I'm an actress as well, and what I love about acting is that I'm not Chloe whenever I'm playing that certain character. And shout out to Donald Glover, Janine Neighbors, Dominique Fishback, and Damson. Like, we had the best time, and when I was shooting on that set, I fell more in love with acting. I barely wore makeup. Everything was shot on film. In music, you win and thrive off of being this image of perfection or whatnot. Like, you get clowned for messing up or tripping or falling on stage or looking a hot mess on the carpet. But with acting, that's where the beauty is, with all of the flaws and, you know, the imperfections and things like that. So I fell in love with the script. Now, I totally didn't even connect, I have to do a sex scene. I've never done a sex scene before. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not the focus of the scene. It's really about the shock value of Dre and Khalid watching each other. And you see the obsession between the sisters form at the beginning.
Was it awkward shooting?
No. You see me for 2 seconds in the mirror. And you did not see titties. You did not even see crack. You saw everything. You saw everything that you see from me on stage. Let's keep it real.
Did you have to call, when you told your dad, hey, Dad, this is the scene, or, how was that conversation? Because the dad's still going to be a dad. My daughter's 21, and I don't care.
For sure.
Still a dad.
Yeah, I feel like dads will always look at their little girls like they're still little.
Absolutely.
And that's totally fine. One thing I will say about my parents is that they know this is our job. And
so what was the call? You called Dad, hey, Dad, hi, baby, how you feeling? I just finished shooting. What did you shoot? Go.
Okay, so it wasn't about the shoot. It was about when I first got it. And, when the agents will call and be like, hey, congrats, da-da-da-da-da. And after I got it, I think my dad read the script and he's like, oh, okay. It's like, yeah.
He deleted Twitter.
Okay.
He said, I'm not on this week.
Did Dad go to the premiere?
No, it was just me. I had to hop on a flight right after.
I bet you the internet doesn't realize how much more money they make you. Because if a 2-second scene caused them to lose their mind like that, all that's going to make other people say is, oh, we got to get Chloe in our movies.
Yep.
We got to get Chloe
God
in
is
our TV
good.
shows.
God
we got
is
to get
good.
Chloe endorsement deals.
I like how you were saying.
See?
She said it's working. When you say acting, you can be imperfect and the music has to be perfect. Why can't you bring the imperfections to the music? Because I think what's dope about Cardi B is that you can hear she's from the Bronx. You know what I mean? And the Spanglish she uses sometimes. Why can't it be both?
Well, I do both, but that's what people ridicule me for. Yeah, being imperfect, not being the type of image they want me to be. So people say they want certain things, and then when you do it, that's what they use to pick on you.
The weirdest thing is when people say things like, she don't know who she is, she's not being herself. You don't know her.
Thank you.
You don't even know her.
I'm sure they'd like me if they'd meet me. I'm a really nice person.
Now, I wanted to ask, you're on a Soul Out tour.
Yeah.
Does that mean that you're not going to be a special guest, or that you are going to be a special guest on somebody else's tour coming up?
Well, I'm definitely
trying to ask, are you going to be opening for Beyonce?
I'm definitely going to see the show for sure. And it's been exciting, seeing what I've been doing for myself. I've never headlined a solo tour ever. Sis and I never got to do it for Ungodly Hour because we were in the midst of a pandemic. So I really didn't know what to expect going into it. When I announced it, even before the album dropped, I was a little nervous. Would people want to come? Things like that. Every night, I'm telling my godmom and my team, I'm like, what do you see out there? People out there, for some reason, it doesn't click that people are there to see me.
Correct.
And it's sold out. And I think when you're constantly used to people telling you otherwise, a part of you, as much as you don't want to, begins to believe it. But then when I step out on that stage and I see it and I hear it, it's not like people are just watching me being quiet.
Right.
They're singing the words back to me. They're giving me that energy and that love. You can't fake that. You can't buy that and make up numbers. You can't do that with that. That's real. So as long as I'm connecting with the ones who love me and I'm doing what makes me happy, that's really all the fuck that matters.
Absolutely. And it's also okay to have your people say, don't ask me no fucking Beyonce questions. I love Beyonce, but I'm my own entity,
That's
right? Because I'm sure Kelly, Michelle, everybody's gone through that has stood next to that great person we call Beyonce. It's okay. You know what? Tell them don't ask you no Beyonce questions.
Yeah. She is Beyonce. Everybody wants to know about her. So I'm just cool. I don't really look much into it.
Are you going to be opening up for her, though?
He just said, don't ask
shut up.
Say exactly what he said. Don't ask no fucking questions about Beyonce. Okay, one good time.
He's my family.
I don't mind to argue with family. One good time.
Let's practice.
Chloe.
So, are you going to be opening up for Beyonce?
I plead the fifth.
No, say don't ask me.
So don't ask me no fucking
Okay,
question about
okay.
Beyonce. Go again.
No. I'm nice.
Okay.
And you're my family.
I'll ask.
Now I do cuss.
Are you gonna be opening up for Beyonce?
I don't know.
You're really such a cancer.
He's definitely gonna take that clip though and be like, Chloe said, don't ask me no fucking questions about Beyonce. That was gonna go everywhere.
No, that would be great.
Now, with all the critique you get from being
And by the way, guys,
artist,
she said she didn't know. She didn't say no. She just said she just said she's not saying
all right, we
it.
heard.
Just
with
put it out
all
there.
the critique you get from being a music artist, does it make you just want to stay in acting because of the freedom that you getting acting?
That's a really great question. And in this past week, that crossed my mind a few times. And I got over it like 2-3 days ago.
Really?
Yeah. And I was
why?
like, when people make you doubt, and especially as creatives, we already doubt everything we do. So you begin to think like, oh, well, maybe this isn't for me. But then I would be going against the exact reason why God put me here. So why, like, pray it away. Never lessen yourself to please somebody else. And that's in everything. Not even just me, not people in the business, it's with everything. And I think why I love Make It Look Easy so much. I was in New York a couple months ago, and this was when I was like listening to the mixes and like, I'm so technical. I will obsess over the 2 empty seconds at the end when it comes to mastering. Anyways, I was listening to it and I saw a single mom with her child. I saw a man who kind of looked really sad with his briefcase, and I saw a homeless man, all while like Make It Look Easy, Make It Look Easy, Make It Look Easy was playing. And in that moment I said, okay, I'm doing what I've been praying for, that I heal through my music because it's bigger than me. Like when I leave this world, I want my music to make a difference. When people come to me and tell me, because I'm open about my mental health journey and, you know, how I was struggling with even staying here, they say that that saved them because they felt less alone. So that on its own holds so much more weight than anything you could ever put in comparison to that. When you get stuff like that, numbers don't matter, awards don't matter. I'm not doing it for that. I'm doing it because it makes me happy. It's literally like my favorite thing in the world.
Dope.
Love that.
So,
Well, I got to ask you about they're making me ask about iHeartland.
oh yes, iHeartland.
I don't know what that is. Charlamagne,
You don't
know
know either.
We don't know.
So
I
what that
do.
is.
No,
They
I
just-
do.
they
I
just
do.
don't know. They-
I do.
we
I
don't.
do. I do. Shout
Okay.
out to iHeart. Shout out to iHeart. Thank y'all for playing my songs. Thank you. For me, I did like a 5-song concert.
Okay.
And it was amazing. I got to do it in front of an audience, like 150 people, I think, of like my closest fans. And this was before the album even came out. So it was the best. It was me with a band and it was great. So I actually really love it. It turned out really nice, to be honest. It
So
was,
it airs this Friday at 7
Yeah.
p.m. They haven't told me where it airs. Charlamagne, you know where it airs?
iHeart.
Yeah. That's so well.
iHeartland.
Oh, Metaverse.
Oh, the Metaverse.
I got
Online? See, you see, they didn't tell us much about it. They just said, ask about iHeartland. So that's what we was doing.
so I'm falling for you.
Oh, iHeartRadio.com/iHeartland. No, that's it. That is it. iHeartRadio.com/iHeartland. I'm sorry.
You're such a journalist.
No,
Go
you're
ahead.
good. I'm falling for you. You're talking about I don't need a man. That's the interlude, right?
yes.
Well, like, where were you at when you came up with that? Like,
Okay.
what happened?
So that's not me speaking.
Okay.
So it's my godmom. And I had my phone out. She got in, she's from the Caribbean.
What island she from? What island you from, Godmom?
She covered her face.
She hates the camera.
Jamaica? No. Oh. Guyana, Trinidad. St. Lucia.
Oh, I was just there.
Charlamagne was just there.
I was there 2 weeks ago. I loved it. I had a ball.
So we were in the car, and God bless his soul, he was really great. He got us there safely. The driver from a shoot, he was opening up to us about his love life, his personal love life. It was me, my godmom, and my stylist in the car. And so it started branching out like the double standards with men and women and things like that. So I pulled out my phone to record the back and forth because I wanted to send it to Hallie and Joe and Branson, and I was dying laughing. It's a 10-minute conversation. And this was when I was filming Praises at the time. So I was in the studio with Dream, and I played it for him like the whole 10 minutes because we were just laughing about it. Shout out to him. I love him. He's family. And he was like, you need to make this into an interlude or I'm going to take it and do it. And I was like, you think so? He's like, yes, like take a portion. So then when I sent it to Hallie, she said the same thing. And I was like, God, are you trying to tell me something? And there was this interlude that I just had the hook on that I really had nothing left else to say on it. And I was like, aha, I got it. That's it. Because I love the juxtaposition of, in the beginning, it's like, yes, I'm falling for you. I'm losing myself because of how much I love you. But it's like, it flips when you hear her come and say, fuck that shit. I'm not laying down and giving myself to a man just to lose myself. So it really, as a Cancer, because when I'm in love, I give my all. And I think that's why I needed to be single this past year, so I could put all of the attention and focus on myself. So I love it so much it even starts off the tour at the top of the show. I love it.
Well, I represent you, Godmom, and since we didn't get clearance for that record, we need PC. Since you didn't clear our voice, we need PC. You can either take it to court or you can pay us to the side. Whatever you prefer.
Come on, Nala, what else you got? I see you over there in your notes.
Yeah, the record that you did with Missy Elliott, did you guys do that together? I want to know, what is it like working with Missy Elliott?
Another Cancer. A lot of tears in that studio.
Same birthday, July 1st.
First, yeah.
Okay, so first off saying, because of her, it gave me confidence as a Black woman to produce.
Dope.
And like let my nerd kind of fly in that way. So around Grammy weekend, I got the call from Grammys and Harvey Mason, because he did the music for Praises. And they were like, oh, we want you to honor Missy at BMC, Black Music Collective. I was like, are you kidding me? Yes, I love her. Like, out of all the tributes I've ever done, this was the one. And even her manager, Mona Scott, she said that I was on her wish list of people. So it was a surprise that I was supposed to be there. So I was already freaking out. One, because I knew I'd be singing in front of her. And two, to know that she even likes me and knows of me. So I got out on that stage and I saw her. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I sang 1 in a Million and 1 Minute Man. And after I got off that stage, I held her so tight and I was like, thank you for everything that you've done and inspired me with. And that was when I was finishing the final mixes of my album. And like 2 days later, I was listening to Told Ya. And the beat is like heavily inspired by her, as a lot of the tracks on there are. And I looked at my godmom, who's my manager. I was like, what if we got Missy on Told Ya? And she gave me the eye. And then maybe a few hours later, I got a text from a random number on my phone. It was Missy. And she was thanking me for the tribute and how much she loves me and to keep going and to keep God first. And she does not know how much her saying that, coming from her, meant to me. And I got her verse Super Bowl morning. Wow. I literally cried out on the floor in the hotel room like for 20 minutes because for some reason, whenever I'm like going through something, I like make high energy songs. That's how Have Mercy got started. It was like to clap back at all the people saying I show my ass too much. And Told Ya, I was in the studio with Teron again. I was like, man, people are telling me I can't do this. They're underestimating me. And he's like, you know what? We gonna tell those motherfuckers. So that's why it's called I Told Ya. So even though it sounds like from such a big place of confidence, it really came from a place of feeling so small. So with all of that being said, to have an icon like her put her stamp of approval on a song that I wrote because I felt like I wasn't good enough to do this, that meant so much to me.
Wow. I've seen the change. Like there was a time where it was still Chloe, publicist, talking points, yada yada. So you ripped that up. In the last month or so, I've seen that. I've seen
we're
you
human.
being you.
Yeah, we're human. Like none of us are perfect, and it's boring to act like we are. So,
well, you got another question? Or you want to get into a joint off that?
You got anything else, Nyla?
We can get into it.
Okay. Yeah. I just want to tell my cousin that she knows I love her, and I want to tell you it's better. This is something my therapist told me actually. It's better to be slandered than ignored, right? And all the noise is the price you pay for all of the good you do in the world.
Yeah. Yes. Amen. I love that.
Word.
You didn't download the album, though.
Man, shut up, man. Ladies and gentlemen,
did you?
You an internet troll.
Did you download the album?
I streamed it.
He's a liar.
Okay, so what was your favorite song?
Exactly. Ooh, good question. Now you got him, Chloe. Now you got his punk ass.
You keep wanting to put him under the bus. Nope. Tell me your favorite song.
You know what? I'm a DJ, so I play the records in the club. So I play
which
Have
one?
Mercy in the club.
Which one did you play from In Pieces?
That's right.
Because Have Mercy isn't on In Pieces. It might be on the deluxe, but not that.
Thank you.
You didn't even know that.
Caught. Yeah. Yeah.
Chloe Bailey, ladies
Yeah,
and gentlemen.
I know what record I want to hear from the album right now.
What record?
And even though I don't personally, you know, I love the song sonically, but I don't like what it stands for. Cheat Back by Future.
They want to hear Cheat Back?
Okay, that's because I think that's a hit.
All right.
All right.
We're going to get into it now.
Now, when you a DJ, what you think is the hit? Oh, you
I
like
think
Body
it should
Do?
be Body Do.
Okay.
It got that energy. The weather is warm now.
All right, let's play both then.
We going to play both?
We'll play both.
Okay.
We play both.
Love
play
you.
both.
Let's Chloe Bailey, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you
so
guys.
much. We
I love you all always.
And it's The Breakfast Club. It's Chloe Bailey.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.